Hello everyone, welcome back again. Today we will learn on with a new topic, that is using timetables. So let's start. First, let us first try to understand what is a timetable first. A timetable is a plan of the times when particular events are to take place, or in school a timetable is a list that shows time in the week at which particular subjects are to be taught. Or it can be your timetables for your lessons. Or it can be a chart that shows the departures and arrival times of trains, buses, or aircraft. Now here we're going to have a look at the train timetable here. So these are the name of the places, these are the name of the station where your bus, that is a train A, B, and C will stop and depart. So we have three columns here, so that means we have three trains. That is train A, train B, and train C we have. And this is a place where the train is going to depart and arrive. So first station is our town, and then second is Riverton, and then Ilbury, and then New City. So here for this train A, departure time from our town is 9:10 a.m. That means your train, that is this train A, will leave the stations at 9:10 a.m. and then will arrive in the next stations at 9:45, and then will arrive in the next station at 10:15, and then finally 11:30. So the same way if it goes for train number B, it will start at 10:30 a.m. and then it will arrive in the next station at 11:05, and then arrive in the next station again, that is at 11:35, and then finally it will arrive in the last station, that is New City, at 12:50 p.m. So these are the these are the timetables. So we are going to use this timetable, which is shown here in this chart, in this table, and then we're going to use this to answer these questions here. So let's try to answer these questions here. Know that this is the time of the arrival and then departure timing for the train. Train number A, this first column is for train number A, train number B, and train number C. Now let's answer these questions here. It says, how long does it take for the train? That means it's saying how long will the train take? How long will the train take to travel? From which place? From our town to Riverton. That means from our town, we will look at this train number A. You can look at train number B or C also. Either way is correct. We will look at train number A. Now, to go from our town to Riverton, how long the train takes? So how to find out the answers? It starts at 9:10 and then it stops at 9:45 at Riverton stations. So what do we do is to find how long it took for the train to travel from our town to Riverton stations. How do we do is we're going to write the timing, that is it stopped at 9:45, so write the timing where it stopped. That is 9:45. Don't start with this timing which this train started at 9:10, so don't start with this timing. Start at the timing where it stopped. That is 9:45, and it started at 9:10, so we're going to write 9 below, 9:10 below, and then minus it to get how long the train took. So minus it. Now know it that this side number is for your minute number and this side is for your hour number. Now here your minute number is 45. Now subtract it. 5 minus 0, we know that is 5. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. And then 9 minus 9 is 0, so we wouldn't write. That means this is for your minute number. That means how long the train took to travel from our town to Riverton. That is, answers is 35 minutes. So to get the answers, you just have to subtract. Know that you have to write the time where it stopped and then minus it with the time where it started. Now let's go to the second one, that is question number 2. It says, how long would I have to wait for a train if I arrive at, that is the first question, it says, if I arrive at our town stations at 9:05 a.m., how long do I need to wait? It says he arrived at 9:10, 9:05, that means I've arrived is at 9:05, and then the train, that is train number 8, it will depart at 9:10. So that means how long do I have to wait? So that means I have to wait just 5 minutes more, right? So how do we get the answers? We can do like how we did the previous one. That is 9:10. It's going to start at 9:10, and I arrive at 9:05. So minus it. So 10. This is for your minute, 10 minutes and 5 minutes. So we get our answers as 10 minus 5 is 5. So that means I have to wait for how many minutes? That is just 5 minutes. Now let's go to this number B. How long do I have to wait for a train if I arrive Riverton stations at 10:45? That means it says arrive at 10:45. So let's have a look. It says Riverton stations. That means in this Riverton station, train number A, it depart at 9:45. And then I'm arriving at 10:45. That means this train has already gone. That means I have missed this train. That is 9:45, train number 8, it depart, right? So that means I have missed this train. So I cannot wait for this train because this train is already gone. So what do I have to do is I will have to wait for the next train. That is train number B. It starts at Riverton station. It starts at 11:05. So and then my arrival timing is 10:45. If I reach at Riverton station at 10:45, how long do I have to wait for this train? So let's find out. So we write this time first. That is 11:05 minutes, and then I arrive at 10:45. So I write 10:45 here. Now minus it. Know that this is for your hour number and this is for your minute number. So when you are subtracting, now when we look at this minute part, this minute part is less than this down one. So when we subtract, always your upper number should be bigger than this down number. So this upper number is small. So what we have to do is we will borrow from the R number. So this R, this for this timing is 11 hours. So if we borrow 1 hour, that becomes 10 hours. Now this 11 hours becomes 10 hours, and 1 hour which we have borrowed from here will go to this minute. So this 1 hour, when it goes to the minute, 1 hour will be counted as 60 minutes, because we know that in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. So 1 hour which we have taken from here will be counted as 60 minutes. Now this 60 minutes here will be added with this 5, because here we have already 5 minutes is here, right? So we add this 5 with this 60. So we get how much? 65. So that means this number will no more count as 5, it will be counted as 65. Now let's minus it. Now this upper number is big now, so let's minus it. 5 minus 5 is 0, so write 0. 6 minus 4 is 2, so write 2. And then 10 minus 10 is 0, so we won't write. That means how long do I have to wait? We got our answers, minute number is 20, so that means I have to wait for 20 minutes for a train. That is train number B. Now let's do another question. Now here this question number 3 says, which is the latest train I can catch from our town to arrive at this next station, that is Riverton stations, by 10 a.m. So to reach this Riverton station by 10 a.m., which is the latest train I can catch? So to arrive, to go from our town station and to reach Riverton station by 10 a.m. Now look at this Riverton station here. Here, my arrival timing is 10. Here, this departure timing for this train A from Riverton is 9:45. That means I'm going to miss this train. So what do? Is I have to go for the next train. That is the next option. It starts at 11:05 a.m. and then my arrival timing is at 10. So which is the latest train I can catch from our town to go to this Riverton stations? That is, your answers will be train number B. That means I'm going to take this train number B to go from here to reach here, so that I can catch this train. That is this Riverton station. This train number B, it starts its journey again. That is, it departs at 11:05. So I'm going to go for train number B. So the answers will be train B. Now let's go to the another question, that is question number 4. Now have a look at this table now here. This table, this timetable is of this, which is shown here. This half of this part is already being torn here. So that means this time for this time is missing. We have to find this missing time here. So how do we find this missing part here? What we have to do is, we're going to find how long does the bus take? This is your bus timetable. So how long does the bus take to go from hospital to shopping center? How long does it take? We have to find out first, and then we have to find out how long this bus take to go from shopping center to this next part, that is next area, that is industrial area, and then we have to find out again how long does the bus take to go from industrial area to railway stations. So then only we can find out for this missing time over here. So how do we do this? We'll start from here first. That is, from hospital to shopping center, how long does the bus take? So how do we find? It starts at 8:25 and then it stops at shopping center at 8:55. So we write the stop timing first. That is 8:55 first, and then we will minus it with arrival time, that departure time. That is, start at 8:25, minus it. So when we minus, let's see how much do we get. We know that 5 minus 5 is 0, 5 minus 2 is 3, and 8 minus 8 is 0. So that means the bus took how many minutes? That means it took 30 minutes. To go from hospital to shopping centers, the bus took 30 minutes. Now here, the second one is already given. For the shopping center, the second shopping center timing is already given, but this one is missing. So we have to find out for this. So to go from bus, that is hospital, to shopping center, the bus took 30 minutes. So what am I going to do is to write for the time. They start at 4:35, so write 4:35, and then the bus took 30 minutes, so we're going to add this 30 minutes to this 35. So add 30 minutes to this 35. Now why am I adding? Is that when we look at this time from the top to as we go down, each time as we go down, the time it keeps on increasing, right? So to find out for this next time, the time will increase, right? So that's why we are adding with 30. So the bus took 30 minutes to go from hospital to shopping center. So we are going to add this 30 minutes to this 4:35. So that's 80. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then this 4 here. Now here, this 65, this is your minute number, right? But we never write 65 in minute, right? So what do we do is, there is no 65 minutes. So what do we do is, we're going to take away 60 minutes from the 65. Take away 60 minutes, we never write 65, so it's coming out more than 60. So we will subtract the 60 from the 65. So subtract it, 5 minus 0 is 5, and 6 minus 6 is 0. And then the 60 minute which you have taken from the 65, the 60 minute will be counted as 1 hour, right? And this 1 hour will be added to this 4 hour here. So when this 1 hour added to this 4, it becomes 5 hours. So that is, your time is 5 hours, 5 minutes. So 5 hours, 5 minutes. So we got this answer. Now let's find out for the next one. Now to find out for this third one, what we have to do is, we have to find out how long the bus took to go from shopping center to industrial area, how long it took. So it started at 8:55 and stopped at 9:40. So we're going to write 9:40 first, let's write 940 first. And then minus it with 855. Now here, we cannot subtract 40 and 55 because 40 is small. So what do? Is we will borrow from our number. So when we borrow from our number, this 9 becomes 8 hours. And then 1 hour which you have borrowed will go to this minute and will count as 60 minutes. And then this 60 minutes, you add it with this. Already we have 40 minutes here. So you add it with this 40, that becomes 100. Now subtract it. 100 minus 55 is how much? We know that is 45. So we write 45. 8 minus 8 is 0. So that means how long the bus took to go from shopping center to industrial area? It took 45 minutes. So to find these answers for this and this, we will add 45 to the number. So let's add the number. That is 200 and 45 minutes, right? So we add 45. So 0 plus 5 is 5 and 0 plus 4 is 4 and 2. So that means the answer is 2:45 p.m. And for this, that is 5 minutes. We will add 45 to this again. That is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. We need 1 here, that makes 5. And then 5. That is 5 hours, 50 minutes. Now we got these answers. Now let's go for this last one. To go for this last one, let's find out how long the bus took to go from industrial area to railway station. So it stopped at 10:45, so take 10:45 and then minus it with 9:40. Got how much? 5 minutes, 0 is 5. 4 minus 4 is 0. And then 10 minus 9 is 1. That means it took not 1 hour, that is, it took 1 hour, 5 minutes. It took 1 hour, 5 minutes. So, to find for this time, we're going to add this 1 hour, 5 minutes to this 2:45. So let's add 2:45, add it with 1 hour, 5 minutes. So how much do we get? 5 plus 5 is 10. Bring it 1 here, that makes 5. And then 2 plus 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, so we write 3. So the time is 3:50 p.m. And for this, we will add 1 hour with 5 minutes, that is 5:50. Add it with 1 hour, 5 minutes. So 0 plus 5 is 5, and 5 again, and then 5 plus 1 is 6. So your timing is 6:55 p.m. So that's how we find for the missing part. So remember, the time as we look from the top to as we go down, the time keeps increasing. That's why we added a time. Suppose if this down part is given and up part is torn, means to find for the upper number, when we look from here, from the down, and as we go up, the number keeps decreasing. So suppose this part is given and this upper part is not given. So to find for the upper part, what you have to do is, you don't have to go for addition, you have to keep subtracting to get the answers. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening. See you again in the next video.